Hi everybody, it's Terry Ryder from hotspotting.com.au. Earlier this week I did my regular Tuesday night feature, which is called Hotspot of the Week, and the featured location this week was the Belconnen district in the city of Canberra. I find myself talking increasingly about the Canberra market just recently. One of the strongest and rising markets amongst the capital cities of Australia right now. As the Sydney market winds down, Canberra, which is just 2 or 3 hours down the road from Sydney, is actually moving in the opposite direction, growing evidence that the Canberra market is rising. And it has some compelling statistics underpinning our view of it as a market that people should be considering as a place for investment. Very, very low vacancies at the moment. The strongest rental growth of any of the capital cities, steadily rising sales activity, which is starting to translate into price growth, particularly at the top end. The $1 million suburbs of Canberra, pretty much all of them have had double-digit growth in their median prices in the last 12 months, which is usually a signal that an upcycle is starting. It often starts at the top end and ripples out to the middle market and then more laterally to the cheaper areas over time. The Canberra market's underpinned by some really strong economic realities. Consistency, the ACT economy is ranked the third strongest economy in Australia after Victoria and New South Wales. And I've got some figures here. It's actually from the researchers at PRD Nationwide, and it's their quarterly key market indicators for the various states and territories. And it's interesting that the ACT, Canberra, shows up so strongly in the summary page. For example, it's the state or territory with the highest incomes, and it's also the state and territory with the lowest unemployment rate. That's something that's very, very consistent. Canberra consistently has the highest average incomes in the country and the lowest unemployment rate, and that's still the case according to these figures. In terms of dwelling approvals, the highest growth in dwelling approvals has been recorded by the ACT, according to these figures. In terms of home loan affordability, the highest index readings of all the states and territories is recorded by the ACT, and the most improved growth in terms of the affordability index. ACT is number 2, and that is also in terms of improvement in first home buyer numbers. ACT is number 2 in the nation there as well. New South Wales is number 1. ACT is number 2. So in all these different market indicators, on this particular piece of research from PRD Nationwide, the ACT is either ranks number 1 or number 2 in most of the indicators listed here, which just confirms other information. CommSec State of the State reports, which consistently ranks the ACT economy as the third strongest in the nation. Figures from various sources showing that Canberra is competing with Hobart for the title as the capital city with the lowest vacancies. It certainly consistently has the highest annual rental growth in the residential market, and we're seeing a big pickup in sales activity steadily quarter by quarter. So we're really feeling fairly optimistic that there's going to be some pretty good price growth in the next year or so in the Canberra market. So it's one of the reasons why it's top of mind for us. It's one of the places that we're talking to our clients about, and we expect to see some pretty solid growth there, not only in Canberra, but just across the board in places like Queanbeyan, which is actually in New South Wales, but it's really part of the Canberra metropolitan area, a little bit cheaper than the Canberra suburbs, and has the benefit of being in New South Wales. It means it attracts some of the incentives for first home buyers that are available in New South Wales. So all things to consider. If you're thinking about property investment and regard all of Australia as your market, as you should, then don't overlook Canberra and the ACT. That's it for now. Terry Ryder from hotspotting.com.au signing off. We'll talk to you again soon.